to bring you a news flash. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Donna Pearson. Happy birthday to you. Good morning, everyone. Happy birthday, Donna. Everyone wish Donna a happy birthday, please. Everyone hit the round of applause, please. Everyone hit the claps. Everyone hit the emojis. Everyone go down. Wave your arms in the air like you just don't care. I was saying to Maddie the other day, I remember when saying wave your hands in the air like you just don't care was an original thing. I think I was at a Cameo concert. Larry Blackman, lead singer of Cameo, was standing on stage with a red codpiece on. He waved his hands in the air and he said, wave your hands in the air like you just don't care. And we all at the ABC Hammersmith, or the Hammersmith Odeon, or whatever it was called, waved our hands in the air like it was an original thing to do. So for Donna, let's wave our hands in the air like we just don't care. And you have to do it like that, don't you? It's kind of one side step removed from jazz hands. I don't know why, I just quite like that microphone there. It's like a comfort blanket. I just want to stroke it. Anyway, it's one of those microphones that when you do that, nothing happens because it's not a real mic. There's nothing up with the sound sleepy moo, that's the thing. It's just an optical illusion. It's just an illusion. Could it be enough? It's just an illusion. Where do you get, Mark, where are your stripy towels from? What stripy towels? Oh, all our stripy towels. What, the ones that you see just lying around randomly? I don't know, Nadia bought them. Judy Goodhall, I'm pleased you've told us that. I'm gonna have to pause and get an egg and bacon sandwich. Do it. Put us on pause. I love being put on pause. I wish I was put on pause a little bit more. Denise Nelson-Gale. Morning, Mark, Nadia, Nanadai. 3 years since I lost my dear mum, feeling low to Denise. I'm so sorry. Do you know what? There was a quote, I'm probably not going to quote it correctly, but I shared it with someone the other day, and it's around grief is love persevering. In fact, it comes from WandaVision, and it was just one of those quotes, which is so true. It's like love pierces way beyond and perseveres way beyond the physicality of a person, sadly. So 3 years, you know, I've always said grief doesn't diminish, you just get sort of, I wouldn't say smarter, you just have to work your way around that feeling, but the feeling stays the same whenever you go there. I've lost many people, and if I go back to the loss of any of them, I feel the same intensity each time. So, how are we all this morning, apart from obviously Denise? Sending you a big hug. Everyone send Denise a hug. Obviously, we send Donna a happy birthday. Morning, Deborah Learmouth, Sandy D, User One, Vicky Fairhurst, Nikki Thompson, Clodagh Egan, Fiona Reed, Faye Dawson, Trina Cotton, meh. What's that in regard to, Trina? Are you feeling meh? Or is it our talk of grief? Lynn Sheard, morning Bethan, Hasbana, oh, where have you gone? Zoe Agnew, the pain never ends, but neither does the love. Absolutely, Zoe. Christina Olivia, Lior, you're a happy bunny today. That's good, I'm pleased, Lior. Loving your art still. Well, you know, not still, just loving your art. Nicola S, Sheila Sturton, Courtney Richardson, Nicola S, loved your cat t-shirt. Did you see Green-Fingered Hell yesterday? Yes, Catastrophe. It's a good one, wasn't it? Denise, thank you everyone, so appreciated. Love you guys, always so supportive. Everyone's here for you, Denise, everyone. Bethany Townsend, Zoe Griffiths-Brown, Gemma Johnson, Dragon Rose, morning Mark, that's one hell of a mic. Sorry for the mix up on cards there, we are resolving that. Joe Pardon, oh darling, lost my close friend Saturday, feeling awful. Joe, oh God. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I mean, there are literally no words to manage these things. Trina Cotton, yeah, feeling meh. I'm okay, Trina Cotton. Okay, sweetheart. Gabrielle, hi Mark, can you do a mental health chat soon, please? Yes, absolutely, I will do. I have talked about doing one, and we'll talk about there's something called return anxiety. Apparently it's a thing, you know, return to life. We've popped a poll up on the community page for you to share with us what your thoughts on lockdown lifting. Our Grandma Rosie's channel, Mark, that's a big one. Thank you very much, Grandma Rosie. It is, isn't it? Well, it looks big to you. It's actually really small. It's all an optical illusion. Could it be enough? Thank you, Ashley. Good green-fingered hell last night. It was fun, wasn't it? Someone said the other day, and you know, this is what we have to kind of re-explain. Green-fingered hell is a gardening series where not an awful lot of gardening happens. And I like to think, when you go into pitch to channels, they're like, well, what's the USP? What's the unique selling point of this? It's a little bit like, it's our equivalent to Bob Mortimer and, what's the, Bob Mortimer and whatever the other chap's name is, who I absolutely love. Fishing. Two men fishing, isn't it? It's just me and my mum wondering, who'd have thought what an unlikely partnership we make. What an unlikely partnership, Mum, we make. A strange, curious sort of Ant and Dec-like double act, where I'm the short one, and no, not Vic Reeves, Bob Mortimer, and who's the other? Paul Whitehouse. Thank you, Lior. Which me and Maddie, there's something I love about Maddie. Maddie loves, I don't know if you and Ferguson are friends here, something I love about Maddie, she loves men, as in old men who talk shit, but are funny and kind. You know, we're not talking about horrible men. And me and her sat and chuckled our way through about 3 episodes of Paul Whitehouse and Bob Mortimer fishing. And I like to think that that's what you're getting. So sometimes, every now and then, someone will say, why don't you get a gardener in to do that? Or, my God, you haven't made much progress or in the garden, all that. And me and my mum, sort of in our own unique fashion, stick our fingers up to those sayings, not in a horrible way, just in a sort of, oh, don't be silly. That's not the point of it. Though, at the back of it, we are making some progress. So, in the garden, if you know what I mean. Oh, gosh, it's my stomach. Did you see my stomach roaring there? Gabrielle, Nanny Di saying, wouldn't it be funny if a robin ate it immediately? About the bee was so funny. It's those little touches. I have to confess, those are the little bits that I spend a lot of time sort of protecting and keeping in, and if it was a TV show, they'd cut out. It's all those little asides and all that kind of stuff. Morning, Mark from Catesbridge. Wow, that's a good place name. It's about spending time with each other when you wouldn't normally. Vicky Fairhurst. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know if you're here, Mum. Thank you, Sharona, for the Galaxy Bar. Yeah, no, we have solved the issue of the Easter eggs. I think they were from Ashley too. So thank you, Ashley. We are in a strange place. We never set up the PO box for gifts, and so it's a nice way to be sent messages or sent sort of very low cost keepsakes if you feel like you want to. You know, it was a way of just being able to have a postal address rather than you trying to find a home postal address to be able to send things. But we've got to a point now, sadly, with some people who we're going to have to start only thanking you privately because people are getting a sort of abuse who are being thanked within our content. And we don't want that. So it's actually an act of protection and also for protection of everyone, really, us and you, that we will start to thank you in a more private fashion. So please, you know, we love receiving notes. We may well flash or show what these things are, but we're going to probably not start saying who they're from. It's a sad fact of this really unkind age where, you know, if anyone sends something to anyone, someone wants to read something really nasty into it, and it's just not pleasant. There's a number of our followers who know exactly what I'm referring to. So please consider that as a sort of protection of you as much as it is, you know, sort of protecting ourselves from just nonsense. So Zoe, hello Zoe Griffiths-Brown, Sleepy Moo, I know it is. But let's talk about the news. Should we talk about the news? Now, you'd be forgiven for thinking, well, you wouldn't be forgiven for thinking, I think someone needs to get Oxford AstraZeneca and have a chat with their PR person. What an absolute mess this is. Now, the front of The Sun, and I'm not an advocate of The Sun as a newspaper, but the front of The Sun has a really important front page. As under 30s, so you know, the story is that under 30s are now going to be given another jab, not the Oxford AstraZeneca, which would, in any sense of the word, make us all think in a rather hysterical, you know, like that moment in the great satire movie Airplane, you know, adopt crash positions. Tracy Mayhook, thank you very much for that. Wish I'd found you all sooner. Well, you found us now, and we'll always be here, and Coffee Moanings and everything will be there for you to watch when you come back later in the day, so that's wonderful. But the important statistic on the front of the Sun is that despite this, not giving under 30s the Oxford AstraZeneca jab, there is only a 0.0000095% chance of a clot after the AstraZeneca vaccine. So it's really important to stress that. This is the height of, you know, they're following the heights of cautionary advice. They're being as cautious as they can be. Don't call me Shirley. It's a building with lots of windows with patients in it, and please don't call me Shirley. As Faith Goodman says, 200 people die from falling down the stairs, 30 die from choking on food, putting blood clot deaths into perspective with accidents. Entirely agree, Faith Goodman. So we're talking about it only because it's happened. Boris Johnson's gone on the record as saying, you know, don't stop, keep jabbing. The front of the Daily Mail is keep calm and keep jabbing. So whilst the story, sorry, I just saw one of the stars from Call My Agent is in the news. We love that show. It's an extraordinarily cautious approach. So those headlines, don't go into a batshit crazy panic if you know anyone who's under 30, or if you are under 30 and you were thinking, oh my God, you know, what are the concerns here? What are the dangers? But I'll tell you something that did strike me as really weird, is reported in the Independent today. Listen to this, guys. Britain, according to UCL, University College London, Britain could have coronavirus herd immunity by Monday at 6 p.m. No, I'm joking. How can they be so specific? By Monday. By Monday. UCL research, seen by The Telegraph and reported by The Independent, estimates that almost 3/4 of people, 73.4%, will have immunity from the virus through vaccination or previous infection. Let me just take a sip of my coffee. Oh, Kerry Hanley, Mark, 2 years on from you and Nadia, get me motivated to run. I'm doing an ultra in 4 weeks. I'm not sure if I want to thank you or hit you. To thank you or hit you. Well done. I did an ultra in Jordan years ago. It was actually less difficult than a marathon. I like running in extreme heat. Smash the like button, says Mega Chelsea. Do hit the like button. That's great. Sorry, I'm just getting emails and texts at the same time. I don't like the hysteria reporting and feel really sorry for the Oxford team. Don't feel sorry for the Oxford team. Do not feel sorry for the Oxford team, because one of the key women is they're about to make an absolute fortune. Believe me, don't worry about the Oxford team. They're fine. Oh, Nanny Di is very good. I've just been texting. I think she might be joining the live at some point. I did tell her we were live at 10. Nino, Trina Cotton. God, you're on the money today, aren't you, Trina Cotton? So yes, so herd immunity by Monday. What the hell? Shut the front door. Get the cows through the gate. Shear the sheep. Drink the water. Plump up the cushions. What? Do you believe that? Who believes that? Yes or no? Do you believe that? Is that true? Or is that a load of bullshit? Is that true? Herd immunity? Fleur and Izzy are brilliant. Izzy's pumping away at her lovely, I can never work out what you call it. Is it tapestry or patchwork? Patchwork business. Bullshit, says Ashley. Monsieur Begum, higher. Marcia Toms, no. How can that be possible? Well, I suppose if 50% of the population have been vaccinated with the first vaccine, and however many have had, I mean, I suppose we're not far off. I think we're going to get through this, guys. I do. I mean, I think we have to enact the maximum caution moving forward. But I think we're all right. Nanny Di, are you here? Are you here? It's hard to believe anything, Sarah, but you're right. The news flips and flops in every direction, doesn't it, microphone? What do you think, microphone? I haven't got a clue. Sorry? I haven't got a clue. Oh, okay, I think you might have an opinion. Rachel Dodge, until people are allowed to travel again. Gemma Howard, morning, just been watching your Greece vlogs and dreaming of going abroad again in the future. Oh, doesn't everyone? Isn't everyone dreaming of going abroad? I kind of am, one part of me wants to set off with a backpack, nothing more than a backpack, and walk around the globe. And apparently it'll take me about 5 years. I really do. Just want, and film the whole thing, and interview people all on the way. And then another part of me just wants to go to a really shitty beach and just sit in the sun drinking margaritas, alcohol-free, obviously. Catesbridge is in Ireland, what a lovely name. Another part of me just wants to, I don't know, sunbathe somewhere. Not on a cruise ship. I'm not a big cruise ship fan, to be honest with you. That would be exciting to watch, wouldn't it? I'm getting a VW campervan dual lister and touring the UK. I just want an ice cream by the seaside, says Marcia Toms. That's a nice, simple pleasure, isn't it? A stick of rock. Though I've never really liked a stick of rock. Did you ever used to get the cut along the side of your tongue from when it got a bit sharp? Hazel Malborn, I just want to go to the pub. I don't even drink and I want to go to the pub. We're going to be able to go to the pub from April the 12th, right? Alison Craig, no, I'm not dreaming of going abroad. Dreaming of seeing my mum in the home. Can't until after the 26th. Exactly. I think I'm in that place, really. I think I'm in the place of keeping ambitions, dreams, hopes, aspirations, sort of within a sort of 10-mile radius. It's just a bit of a rude word, sorry. Outlandish creations from our friend in Chiswick. Mark, do you play any instruments? Not any legal ones, no. I won't be rushing anywhere. Pubs in Ireland won't open before May at the earliest, Clodagh Egan. What are you going to do? Oh. Lovely mug. Thank you, Vicky Fairhurst. So, in other news, let's have a look. There are plenty of vaccines for the under 30s as we hit an that's convenient, isn't it? AstraZeneca dries up a little bit and so Moderna comes in. I used to love the 2p machines, actually. We should talk about that. There's a bit of nostalgia there to be had, isn't there, in sort of amusement arcades. I mean, amusement arcades have become sort of the ones on the high street, a sort of malevolent force of, ugh. But I remember as a kid just the innocence of 2p shove things and you know, the zombie shoot 'em ups, and I never liked that dance thing. Do you know what I mean? Bethany Townsend, I'm a florist. My shop opens back up on Monday. I cannot wait to have customers back in the shop. I think there's going to be a huge surge for what I call analog shopping, which is like walking through an actual shop, a front shop door, shop entrance. Enough Moderna and Pfizer for under 30, Sarah Clemmy. There is. Hancock is very confident. Hancock's half hour. He's very confident. We have proof now that the UK's vaccination programme is beginning to break the link between COVID-19 cases and deaths. Scientists say that are tracking the epidemic. A study found that injections had fallen by roughly 2/3 since February. This is good. This is all good, herd immunity. This is all good. So I think, you know, there's a lot of good news knocking about. COVID infections going down. The numbers are all moving in the right direction. I think lockdown, I think all of our dates are going to be hit. I think it's just a case of once Europe's caught up with us, we're going to get there. Look, it's just breaking now. COVID deaths in England and Wales fall to the lowest level in 6 months. That's just broken 7 minutes ago. Hazel Caldera, the arcades in Whitley Bay were where I spent my childhood alongside the Spanish city. I've got photos somewhere of me sat on a pinball table in the Spanish city in circa 1973. Nanny Di here, the council have barricaded my flat, feel safe, also feel more like myself. Thank you so much for all your support subs. Love you all so much, Nanny Di. Everyone give Nanny Di a huge round of applause. Send big thumbs up, send her hugs, send her everything. Mum, do you remember the Spanish city? And whilst you're all doing that, a total of 719 COVID fatalities were registered in England and Wales in the week ending the 26th of March. Around 1 in 14 of all deaths in the week to 26th of March mentioned COVID. This is the third consecutive week that total weekly deaths have been below the 5-year average. Below the 5-year average. There you go, Mum. Look, everyone's sending you love and support. This is great news. Deaths are at their lowest level in 6 months. And presumably, with the silver bullet of the vaccines, surely we can't repeat, as Nadia's dear friend Lee Peart says, we can't in any way be in the same place we were in a year ago, for sure. We are one step closer to eventually being able to lick people's faces. I'm joking. No one really wants to do that, do they? I'm not going to read that because that's negative news. Lots. I tell you what there is though. Warnings over dolphin disturbances with more people visiting the coast as lockdown lifts. What's that? Oh right. Yeah, this is along the same lines as seals. Leave seals and dolphins alone. A dolphin is for the sea, not for Christmas. There's also, I was going to say, there's all sorts of archaeological discoveries going on at the moment, which seem to, every time I see there's headlines everywhere saying archaeological discoveries transforms our understanding of Neolithic man. And you sort of go into the story. I'm very excited by archaeology, and I'm very excited by history. But then you go into the story, and I'm thinking, how dramatically is this going to change stuff? And it's like, it's very minimal. It's like they might have lived 5 meters closer to a river. And you sort of think, God, I was hoping maybe they discovered another leg, or that perhaps we landed from another planet. And I just wanted to share, there were just a couple of other, I mean, let's not forget, whilst we shuffle towards herd immunity, incompetence and apathy spreads in death in Brazil and India, it's being reported. So do remember, we're operating in a sort of self-contained bubble. Lee Peart, fancy new microphone, Lee, but guess what? It's just a prop. Yeah. I wonder whether it gave the fiction or presented an audible fiction of me sounding clearer. What do you think? Tracy Mayhook, can you give a brief insight into the candidates for mayor, March, that I don't have to? I'm afraid I can't. I couldn't think of anything less interesting at the moment than the mayoral race for London. It's terrible, isn't it? I mean, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to own it. I've actively not been interested. Everyone say hello to Lee. If you haven't followed Lee on YouTube, do follow Lee. It will make your life richer, and on Instagram, of course. I believe, Lee, you're visiting our garden next week. Can you believe it? The day you're visiting our garden, I'm in town editing, but hopefully you'll be here into the twilight moments so I can meet you in the evening. I'll see you in the evening. What else have we got here? In the Times, yeah, the reason I was saying don't worry about the Oxford vaccine pioneers, get this. The co-founders of the Oxford biotech startup behind the COVID-19 vaccine are set for a payout running into tens of millions as it prepares for a stock market listing. I mean, I suppose, they've probably saved half the planet. And although the vaccine is being sold at the moment on a non-profit basis, the business is entitled to royalty and milestone payments, which will become lucrative if the virus remains active in the population over the longer term. And I think for many people who have a huge suspicion, which, to be honest with you, I have at times. Better? I think I've just gone to 4G. That was odd. It just went, whoo. Is that better? Are we back? Are we back? Oh, yeah, no, it's got a bit weird, hasn't it? Look at that. Let's try and get, oh yeah, even the feed. Is that better? Back? Okay, back, good. Julianne, I worry about becoming really unwell after. If I pluck up the courage to be vaccinated, I wouldn't have anyone to look after me. You'll just be tired. You'll just be tired. Reese Roberts, you came back from the Matrix glitch. I think the worst is that you'll be tired. Let me have a look at some other news. There wasn't a great deal. I mean, most of the newspapers are running with this story surrounding. I mean, it's funny because I keep stumbling across these sort of varied attempts by, like, there's a story here by The Sun about some other rabies-like disease found in bats in Australia. You know, there's a hunger to make you click. And it's really important. I think we talked about it on the No Name Sunday show that, you know, algorithms, which is the behind-the-scenes sort of structural analysis of what you like and watch and what they suggest you will like and watch again, keep wanting to send you the same stuff. So if you click on stories that are fear stories, then your algorithm of your Google search and all that is going to keep telling you more and more stuff because they want you to click, 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 click. And so what we have to do in this day and age, we have to not click on what's offered us all the time. That's what we have to do. That's the only way we can fight these stories and not be scared batshit, quite literally batshit crazy. Is anyone here from Northern Ireland? Because I tell you what, this is beginning to become a bit of a potential issue, isn't it? Is there anyone here in Northern Ireland who's got a perspective on the Northern Irish violence that's going on over there? Nanny Di saying somebody's just said the Spanish city is still there. Mark was a little kid there. Fond memories of Whitley Bay generally. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Wow, Giuliani's son is to run against Cuomo. God, possibly difficult surnames to say. I am interested in the New York. I'm more interested in the New York governor election than I am in the London mayor. It's terrible, isn't it? 05 Lorianne, yes, riots. I haven't seen. Yeah, I mean, that was a weird story as well. I mean, obviously, there's the terrible atrocities. We haven't talked about it much because only we assume that, you know, this is the kind of news that you can find online but doesn't necessarily have a relevance to people. But the Myanmar, terrible violence in Myanmar is awful. But there was this case of there being a coup in the Myanmar embassy in London, Faith. You've just mentioned it. The Myanmar ambassador was locked out. But yeah, I just seeing these riots in Northern Ireland. I mean, you know, a lot of civil disobedience going on at the moment, isn't it? I just, you know, we really could do without the whole Northern Irish conflict becoming a tinderbox again. And I was just wondering whether anyone from Northern Ireland here might know whether it was aggravated by the whole EU thing. Rhys Roberts, absolutely. Sadly, it was confirmed as Richard's body that was found in Epping Forest. Thoughts to his family, absolutely. Yeah, tragic. That terrible pause and wait. I think we talked about it a bit yesterday. And yeah, confirmation of that. And I mean, one can only imagine the awfulness of waiting between knowing they found a body and it being confirmed. Again, it's just awful. In fact, whilst tomorrow's Confessions of a Modern Parent is about, I'm not suggesting for a minute that he was the victim of violence necessarily, but we are talking about violence, male violence and young boys next week on Confessions of a Modern Parent. The threat of it, the experience of it, the reality of it. So, you know, the fears of being a parent of a son, though, of course, we don't know the circumstances in which he died, sadly. But just awful. Cameron Fallow, I'm 272 days sober today, thanks to your inspiration. Thank you. Oh, Cameron. Well, congratulations and wow. I mean, I hope, you know, we never ever purport to give advice or recommendations, but we just share experiences, and this is something that's key to the decision behind, you know, going into some form of, you know, doing some form of counselling to contribute to sort of rehab centres and drop-in centres and things like that, is to share in stories of and experiences of sobriety. So hopefully, you know, Cameron, as I say, you know, sometimes having all those days behind you can be a great achievement, but some days it can be a pressure, but don't feel the pressure. Today, again, is another day, and over time, the number of those days will just build and build and build, and just keep your toolbox of recovery alongside you. That's really good news, Cameron. Congratulations. Someone somewhere says, no indication of violence with his death, although no cause of death as of yet. Yeah, absolutely. So no one here from Northern Ireland who can give us any clarification on that. Sleepy Moo, Lee Peart, P-E-A-R-T. That's his channel on YouTube. Well, look, guys, a a vlog is going up later today, and all sorts of reviews are coming and what have you, and we're shooting stuff later. I've got to head off now. We thought we'd do this. I thought I'd do this earlier because I've got a couple of Zoom meetings to do, and have a wonderful day. Stay safe, San Diego, and hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed this live. Subscribe, hit the notification bell,